Coach, you're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain. And we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, pleased to be with you. Unfortunately, though, Mother Nature not really cooperating, Charles. The rain coming down. It's expected to do so throughout.
And whenever I talk to quarterbacks, they worry less about the rain and more about the wind. But you still have to take precautions. You still have to be prepared. The offense always feels like it has the advantage because they know where they're going when they make their cuts.
Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And off we go from Seattle. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. And a look at Seattle's defense.
It's hard to believe that a guy can get double-digit sacks in the NFL, and we can still describe him as raw, but that's the case for Ziggy Ansah, who went to BYU. Mainly as a track and field guy, gravitated towards football, became a starter for 1 season, and then moved into the NFL. A lot of potential left to scratch for him. A lot more pass rush moves left to be added. But he is a scary, scary prospect.
Prescott finding Witten. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a first down. A first down carry by Elliott. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there
because
raining.
Warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Wilson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 72 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 12-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here, you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Elliott on first down, going to get about 3 before he's taken down. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. To throw is Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. This looks like a free play for Prescott. Completes it to Jason Witten. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
Defense.
They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage, so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
Nice job defensively to hold them to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The kick by Marr is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what lines up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And got his man complete. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover and put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The sack by Robert Quinn. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He lets it fly. This is caught inside the 15. It's a gain of 35. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Now Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. David Moore, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Well, they get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Now it's Wilson. Forced out, and it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown.
That's it. Good work, boys.
A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They go to Elliott again. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. That leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you've got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They'll run with Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing, Prescott. And that is incomplete. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Check, watch it before. Hey, watch the screen.
On first down, Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf. 48 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So it's challenge time. The referee's tablet coming out. And the big question, Charles, did that football break the plane to the goal line?
They just need any part of the ball to cross the goal line in order for it to count. And remember, it's got to be indisputable, though. Sometimes we think it's going to be there. We can't really find it on the tablet. So we'll see what the final call is going to be.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So now a two-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson to the Seahawks. Wilson. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. He hits the big target for the two-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Prescott, rolling to his right. He'll run it. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quitting here.
0.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Prescott to throw it. He's got the connection to Cooper. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 25-yard line. Now Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Now Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Randall Cobb there to make the grab. And the Cowboys get a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And the Cowboys are able to recover. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. His pass caught at the 4. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Draw play, Elliott. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And this is caught, so it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for one here and save the possible two-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for two here and you...
Oh, this is blocked. And the Seahawks have it. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. And before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, there's really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spend a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down at the 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game, but these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all